Hey, welcome back to Northern Tesla. It's been 6 months since I got my Model 3, so let me tell you about it. Well, here we are. It's been 6 months with my Model 3, and the time has just flown by, minus the whole lockdown thing and all. The one thing I can say that sums up the last 6 months is, you know that feeling when you get a new car? For the first week, you're all excited, wanting to drive it everywhere, show it off. But as the weeks go by, that feeling quickly fades away, just like that new car smell. It's something that gets you from point A to point B, basically. But 6 months into this Tesla, and I get excited every single time I get in the car. So I want to go over with you everything that's gone on in the last 6 months. So a good reason for the excitement is the constant updates. It's like you're constantly getting a brand new car. There's been a bunch of updates. Usually about 3 or 4 weeks I get a new one. Some big ones came that delivered new text messaging, new Sentry Cam viewer, new self-driving visualizations, improvement to the autopilot and smart summon, camping mode, some new games, and a major update actually just dropped a few days ago, which brought stoplight and stop sign capabilities. So now my car stops at stop signs all by itself. So a lot of people ask me, what's the actual cost of ownership in terms of maintenance? Well, it's been 6 months, and that number is not what I would have expected. I was at least expecting to throw some washer fluid in there, but I haven't even done that. So cost of ownership in terms of maintenance over 6 months, zero. So charging was a bit of a surprise at first because my delivery was in December. It was a little more than I was expecting. I quickly realized an EV in a Canadian winter means reduced range, and a byproduct of that is a little more hydro cost. But typically our hydro bill has been around $50 or $80 more than usual, and that's kind of comparable to one tank of gas, depending on how much you drive a month. And compared to the $300 plus I was spending before, it's just been amazing. And speaking of nightly charging, it's so much easier. Before, during a typical work week, I'd have to get gas at least 2 or 3 times. And typically I would forget I needed gas for that drive, so I'd not have enough time, I'd be all stressed out. I'd have all these apps to figure out where the best gas was. It's always fluctuating, so you never know. But so without it, it's just so much less stress. In terms of repair, I have had a few issues with the car over the 6 months. Very minor things though. The Model 3 is a new car, and they are still working out the kinks in production. From what I've heard about the problems with the first production models, like the sub 100 VINs, nothing compared to that. Most of my problems have just been very minor alignment issues, but the way they've been handled speaks to what kind of company Tesla is and the forward thinking they've gone in the repair process. Any other place, you'd be making an appointment, then going to the dealership and waiting for hours in the lounge, or maybe you can wait for the shuttle. God knows how long that takes. It's just a headache, and that's not how Tesla works. So when I got the delivery, the steering wheel was about misaligned by about 5 degrees. And one of the windows wasn't lining up properly with the seal and was dropping just randomly. A quick visit to the service center fixed both issues really quick. The second issue arose when I noticed the roof panels weren't flush with each other. It looks like this panel was right here, was just up like 5 millimeters. It drove me nuts because I'm a little bit OCD. But another visit to the service center, and they actually replaced the entire roof for me. Both times I was given a Model S to take home, which was awesome, but now I'm hooked on ludicrous mode, so my SR feels a bit slow, even though it's not, because it's Tesla. But both issues were taken care of awesome. I've only had one visit with mobile service, but my experience was great. The problem was because I noticed the trunk was not being flush with the back pillar. Again, I'm OCD. They must know my name at Tesla at the repair shop, but anyways, they came out and it took about 20 minutes and it was great. Fixed it right away. And I don't know, and then another car company who does mobile service. The best part about going through a repair process is the Tesla app. Any repair starts off with the app. You'll send a few pics and a brief description, and usually within a few hours, they'll actually text you back about the problem. One such time I had a problem with the rear camera, having these weird purple lines all over it. The tech quickly sent out a software update to the car, and the problem was fixed. In my experience, any sort of issue, send it in the app and see what they say. Again, in my experience, they'll generally fix it. So the coolest part about owning a Tesla is obviously the fun factor. Elon wants these cars to be fun to drive. First off, you got the Tesla Theater, which gives you access to Netflix, YouTube, and Twitch. There's also a third-party website that gives you access to Disney Plus and a few other streaming services. I can tell you, having a toddler, this is the best thing ever. Anytime you're charging or waiting for something, you can throw on a show and keep them entertained. Even at home, we'll have a Tesla movie night. The family will sit in the car, have popcorn, and enjoy a great movie. You also have the games. My favorite is the beach buggy racing, which you actually drive with the steering wheel. It's actually my son's favorite as well. And they've just added Fallout Shelter, which I've just started to play. I played a lot that one on mobile when I was there. The toy box is another cool feature. There's lots of cool things in there. My son's favorite is the emissions test, which is basically a fart generator. He has lots of fun blaming everyone for farts and then saying, "It's the car that farted." There's also Santa mode, where the visualizations turn to snow and your turn signals is jingle bells. There's also karaoke to have fun on long drives. The fireplace is also cool. The screen shows a fireplace and the heat gets cranked. It even plays romantic jazz music if you're trying to set the mood.
Too much of anything is not good for you, baby. But I don't know about that. There's many times that we've loved.
So camping mode was an update that came out just after I got my car. I've actually used it quite a bit. I work shifts, and sometimes on midnights I wouldn't be able to go home because I've had either a meeting later in the morning, or it's Canada, a hockey game. So I'd actually you can actually fit a twin mattress back there. And I got like a sleeping bag and a pillow, and I was set. The temperature stayed cool, and you didn't lose that much range. So I plan to have some fun with that in the summertime. Even with all that fun stuff, what's really changed in the last 6 months is my commute to work. This is why I got the car. Whether you have the full self-driving suite like I do, or regular autopilot, it's a dream to drive, or not to drive, depending on how you look at it. It's made my long commute a stress-free ride. You're not going to believe the mental workload that goes into operating a car, keeping your eye on traffic, operating everything. It's just taken right out of the picture. It's just been a stress-free ride. You actually have time to enjoy music or a podcast or whatever you're doing for your commute. I'm never exhausted after a long drive. Also, working with shift work and having 2 young kids, I'm pretty much tired all the time. And with me, it's like, even though I'm tired, I don't stress about getting in that car. I know it'll get me there safe. And it's just unreal to drive as well. The acceleration and handling is like nothing you've ever had before. Even in the base SR Plus, it's just terrific. So wrapping up, I just want to say it's just been an actual dream driving this car. I never thought I'd have this car, and I'm amazed of every day I'm amazed of actually drive this. So I like it so much, I started a YouTube channel. So that's the case. If you do like what you're seeing, please like or comment, subscribe down here. Do like, subscribe, please. Or is it here? I think it's here. By forward thinking.